In today's lecture, we will discuss about Verilog operators. So there are many Verilog operators, and the main function of these operators is to perform certain operation over the operands. So what are the various operators? What are their functions? All these things we will discuss in the lectures. So here there are many operators, but today we will cover in this lecture bitwise operator. The other operators are logical operator, reduction operator, arithmetic, this logical, reduction, arithmetic operator, relational operator, equality operator, shift operator, concatenate operator, conditional operator, replication operator. So all these operators we will cover in coming lectures, and today we are going to discuss about bitwise operators. Now bitwise operators operate on individual bits of operands. So they perform the operation on individual bits of operands. So here in this table you can see here operator type. So this is a bitwise operator. Now in this second column, operator symbol, third column, operation performed, and number of operands. How many operands will be there for particular operator? These things will be given in these columns. So in total, bitwise operators are 5. First one is this, right? So if you on your keyboard you can find this symbol, and this symbol you can find on your keyboard, and this is called as tilde, right? And this operator performs one's complement operation. Now we know that to perform a one's complement operation we require only one operand. For example, suppose there is some binary value 1, right? And we want to perform the one's complement. So you require only one operand, right? So this operand will perform the one's complement, right? So we will discuss in detail about all these operators. Now this second operator, this symbol is called as ampersand, right? So this will perform the AND logic, AND operation, bitwise AND operation. And for this operator, two operands are required, because if you are going to perform AND operation, then you need minimum 2 bits. Over those bits only you can perform the AND operation. Now third symbol is this vertical bar. This vertical bar performs bitwise OR operation. So this also need 2 operands. Now this cap type of symbol, right? So this symbol you can find in your computer keyboard, and this symbol is called as caret, right? Or we will call it as cap also, right? Right. So this caret or cap performs bitwise XOR operation, and for this also 2 operands are required. And now here you find here this is a combination of 2 symbols, right? One is tilde and another is cap. Okay. Or you can reverse this also. First you can draw the cap and after that you can draw the tile. So both are both will perform same operation. And what operation this symbol will perform? It will perform bitwise XNOR operation, right? So, and it will also require two operands. Okay, so now in the discussion about these bitwise operators, what we will assume, let us assume there are three vectors, right? Vector A, which is an element of three numbers, right? Vector A, and the range is 2 to 0. So total 4 elements will be created like this. Three elements will be created. A, 2, A, 1 and A, 0, right? So let us assume we have one operand A, which is an back vector type. Another operand is B. This is again a back vector type of three elements, and another operand is C, which is again a vector type, three elements. And we will also take two scalar types, F and W, right? So let us assume we are having these some operands. Scalar type means these are bit type. So to discuss the operation of various operators, we will use these operands. Now first one, this tiled symbol. So it performs, this operator performs the first complement, one's complement of the operand. So let us assume we have one statement, C is equal to tilde A. So now what will happen? This operator will perform one's complement over the operand A, right? So since A is three elements, A2, A1, A0. So the one's complement operation will be performed over these three values, right? These three numbers, and result will be assigned to C. So in that way, what will happen? C is also a 3-bit number, right? So let us assume we have this C2, C1, right? C0, right? So since C is created in this way, C within bracket 2:0, right? So 2:0, or I will write this in this way only. So in this way you can easily understand this. C1, C0, right? So these are the 3-bit numbers. So now if the complement of A is performed, so what it will do? It will complement the value of A2, right? It will complement the value of A2. This, it will complement the value of A1, and it will complement the value of A0 element, right? And these values will be assigned to C. because in between there is an equal symbol. So for the assignment, what will happen? Complement of A2 will be assigned to C2. Complement of A1 will be assigned to C1, and complement of A0 will be assigned to C0. Let us assume A is 1 1 0, right? So if I perform this operation, C is equal to tilde A. So this operator will perform a complement operation over these values of A, right? This one belongs to element A2. This one belongs to element A1, and this 0 belongs to element A0. So complement will be done. So after the complement, what will happen? What will be the result? Result A0, A2 will become 0, A1 will become 0, and A0 will become 1, right? And what will be the result? Result will be C2 will have 0, C1 will have 0, and C0 will have 1, right? Because A2, this will be assigned to C2. A1, which is 0, will be assigned to C1, and A0, which is 1, it is assigned to C1, C0, right? In this way, this operator will perform the operation. And suppose now you see here we are having two scalar type also, f and w, right? So if I write in this way, f is equal to tilde w, then let us assume the value of w is, since this is scalar type, it can hold only one bit, either 0 or 1. Let us assume w is 0. So after this operation, in f, the complement of 0 will be stored. So f complement of 0 is 1. 1 will be stored in f. So in this way, this operator will perform this complement operation. Now we see this ampersand operator. This operator, so this is forms, or it performs, not forms, it performs. It performs bitwise AND operation. So we take one example. Let statement is C is equal to A ampersand B, right? So A and B, these are the vectors. Already we discussed that, how we created this vector. A is 2 colon 0, right? And B is 2 colon 0. And let us assume, so this is A2, A1, A0, right? And for B, we can write B, B2, B1, B0, right? So let us assume we have in A, we are having a value 1, 1, 0, and in B we are having 0, 1, 1. So now this operation A ampersand B, it will perform AND operation right here. It will perform AND operation over A naught and B naught. So basically what will happen, you can see in this way, for performing this operation, if you think about the hardware point of view, one AND gate will be created, which will have two inputs, right? These inputs will be A0 and B0, right? And the output will be assigned to C0, right? Because this operation, after performing this AND operation, the evaluated result will be stored in C, right? Because see the statement, this is the statement. So, and for performing AND operation over this middle bit A1 and B1, another hardware AND gate will be created, right? So this will have two inputs, A1 and B1, and the output is assigned to C1, right? Now for third bit, another gate, AND gate will be there, which will have two inputs which perform the operations over third bit, that is A2 and B2, and result will be assigned to C2 bit. So here if suppose A will have 1 1 0 and B will have 0 1 1, so the result will be, so here we have 0 1, this 0 and 1, and here we have 1 1, these 1 and 1. In last AND gate we have 1 and 0, 1 0. So result will be 0 1 0, right? So in this way, this operator will perform AND operation over vector type or scalar type, right? Scalar type is also allowed, right? Now this vertical bar, right? This vertical bar, this operator performs bitwise OR operation, right? So for example, C is equal to A vertical bar B, right? So produced result will be C2 will have A2 or B2, C1 will have A1 or B1, and C0 will have A0 or B0, right? Because see here we are having vertical bar, this indicates OR operation has to be performed, right? So let us assume if we have A is equal to 1 1 0 and B is 0 0 1. So this is statement C is equal to A vertical bar B. So what this will do, it will perform OR operation over these two bits. So you will get 1. Then OR operation over these two bits, you will get 1, and OR operation over these two bits, you will get 1 1 1 1. This will be assigned to C. So this is about bitwise OR operator. Now this operator, this symbol tile, it is used to perform bitwise XOR operation. It performs bitwise XOR operation. right? So let us assume the statement is C is equal to A cap B. So let us assume if we have A is equal to 1 1 0 and B is equal to 0 0 1, then this statement, this will perform the XOR operation over these two bits. So it will give you the result 1. XOR operation over these two bits, it will give a result 1. XOR operation over these two bits, it will give result 1, and this value will be assigned to C, right? So C means this is C2, this value will be assigned to C1 element, and this value will be assigned to C0 element, right? Okay. Right. Now this symbol, this is a combination of two operators basically. One is this one's complement operator and another is XOR operator, right? So here in this case, this is your tiled. This is tiled and this is, and this symbol is caret, right? So you can use it in this way or you can reverse this also. First you can use this caret, then tiled, right? In this way. So this both will perform XOR operation, right? So here you see the statement C is equal to A tiled cap or caret, right? So now let us assume if we have A is equal to 1 1 0, B is equal to 0 0 1. So what will be done? 0 1. XOR of these two will be 0. 1 0 0. 1 0 will be 0. So this is the result which will be assigned to C, right? So in this way it will perform XOR operation. This is the truth table of bitwise operator. We see this for AND operation, right? This symbol indicates AND operation. So if one of the operand is 0 and another operand is this 0, then for the AND operation, so in the AND operation if any one input is 0, so you will get this 0 0 0, and one input is 0, second input is this 0, second input is this one, second input is don't care. Don't care can be considered as 0 or 1. So in all the cases you will get result 0. Same way in vertical, you see this one operand is 0, so this column is also 0, right? So see, basically here you can find, let us assume this is first operand, and this is second operand. This is second operand, right? So now you see here, if first operand is 1 and second operand is this 0, so result is 0. If second operand is 1, so 1 and 1 is 1. If second operand is don't care, so here you will get don't care, right? And if one operand is don't care, then one operand is 0, so you will get 0. And in other cases, in these two cases, you will get don't care and don't care. Same way, this vertical bar, this indicates OR operation, right? So in OR operation, if one of the operand is 0, now it depends upon the second operand. What is its value? If its value is 0, you will get 0. If second operand is 1, you will get 1. If second operand is don't care, you will get don't care. Now if one input is 1, right, then for another input, whatever it may be the value, but output will be 1. If one input is don't care, then another input is 0, then you will get don't care output. And second operand is 1, so you will get 1. And if third operand is don't care, then you will get don't care, right? Now this is for XOR. So in XOR, you see first operand is 0, second operand is 0, we will get 0. First operand 0, second operand 1, this is 1, so we will get 1. First operand 0, second operand don't care, so in this case you will get don't care, right? And if this input is 1, one input is 1 and second input is 0, so you will get 1. First input is 1, second input is 1, you will get 0. And if it is don't care, don't care. So you see here, if any one, this input is don't care, then you see output is don't care. It does not depends upon the second input. And if this operand is don't care, then the output is don't care. It does not depends upon this second operand, right? Same way you see this is for XNOR. In XNOR also you see this, if one operand is don't care, then it does not depend upon the second operand, output is always don't care. If one operand is don't care, then output is always don't care. Now in this you see the truth table. If one operand is 0, another operand is 0, the result is 1. One operand is 0, another operand is 1, result is 0, right? If one operand is 1, another operand is 0, result is 0. If one operand is 1, another operand is 1, result is 1. So these are the truth tables of bitwise operators.